Hi Aquarius, welcome into a brief next 48-hour tarot reading for you. I hope all is well in your Aquarian world. But we're going to begin and pull from the Halloween Oracle, and then we'll see where the reading takes us. But to do some initial shuffling, to begin for my lovely Aquarians. Okay, coming out the Strength card, Skeleton as well as Jack-o'-lantern talking about protection. Beautiful, strong energies coming through with these. Talking about how you are one protected soul who is strong beyond measure from what you've been through, from what you're currently, I want to say, going through. There's more going on in your Aquarian world behind closed doors and within you than meets the eye. I feel like you're being pushed to think about what you're made out of, and at certain points in the next 48, if we're being truly honest, whether it's due to having a lot on your plate, certain difficulties, for some it's being affected by spirituality and energy, being an empath, and it could be due to, say, a relationship, your work situation, running your business, where you're living even for some. And I'm hearing certain noise factors. You will need to dig for your inner strength and remember what you're made out of, and that you've been through much worse. There's a sense of you just being a bit tired in the next 48, but knowing how to best, to the best of your ability, knowing yourself best, how to gain more energy or how to feel more awake, more with it, right? Especially when you have to inevitably take care of business and fulfill certain obligations. But there's a sense of you thinking about how to protect and best succeed when it comes to a goal or two for the future, a wish fulfillment, if you will. A sense of spirit reminding you in certain factors, occurrences in the next 48, reminding you why you want to change. Say, for example, I know for me it's where I'm living, and it's going to be certain noise factors, the energy being spiritually messed with and that adding to it. And certain other factors playing into it all. The meanwhile, it's going to remind me why I'm making a change moving forward. For you, apply it as you may. It's going to be whatever situation feels quite imperfect and you desire a change. And you might already, like myself, be implementing a change, making it happen for yourself quite soon, or at least at a destined time down the line. As there is noise in the background, do bear with it, due to them cutting the grass. But there's also a significance when it comes to midnight and the spiritual meaning of the number 12, so do look that up. In the midst of having to take a break due to the background noise, I got several different messages, so I wouldn't be surprised if the next 2 days entails you gaining a lot of messages from spirit and just absorbing a lot, and you may need to write certain things down. But I feel like there's going to be a true connection between you and tarot cards. Whether it's more so other people reading for you personally or on YouTube like this. It could be you pulling tarot cards, whether you consider yourself a reader or to have that ability or not. You could be thinking about how to read tarot yourself, how to learn that in the future. But I was also drawn to look at the word fragile. You might individually be feeling a bit fragile emotionally or energy-wise in the next 48. And again, going back to you needing to dig for that inner strength. But I did split the deck, flop it around to the change card, and that felt quite relevant and important for your reading. Again, we have been talking about, or did mention, the protection card intertwining with certain levels of change, or one in particular for you moving forward. But I also feel like there's going to be a lot of people saying thank you to you in the next 48 for whatever reason. I know for me it's going to be due to these readings, but people are going to be expressing their appreciation for you, their gratitude, and your value will just be very much known, okay, seen, and remembered all the meanwhile. But moving forward, let's pull some tarot. It feels like you're very well thought out in the next 48, but there's certain occurrences, moments, thoughts, and signs that Spirit gives you that aren't meant to be overthought or thought about at all. Could be messing with, to be completely honest, if you're very connected like I am. But sometimes there's a message that comes through, or you remember something And it's important, right? It's not a sense of messing with from spirit, but it's not meant to be pondered upon like that. Take what you get from it, or just absorb it and move right along. Because I feel like there's something that needs to be focused on right after that moment. Okay, to continue for Aquarius. Things are going to be affecting you in the next 48. I'm just giving you a heads up, and it's going to tie into you needing to remember what you're made out of and the fact that you've been through worse. There are going to be moments in the next 48 where realistically, you're not going to be your happiest. Okay, and that may remind you why you want to change, what you need to be doing more of and less of all the meanwhile. Very much highlighting your habits. But I feel like there are going to be naturally as well moments where you're happy, and Spirit saying, let's pinpoint, let's notice and be very aware of what's actually making you truly happy. You might even be surprised in regards to when it comes to what actually makes you this happy. I'm getting specifically some of which there's a job that hasn't been making you happy and fulfilled, and you're just kind of happy, or to an extent, if not fully, at certain points when you're wrapped up with that job. And it may push you to recognize that there's a similar kind of situation in the future for you that's going to make you equally, if not more so, happy. But also for some, it's that situation. It doesn't have to be a job, but I got that specifically. A reminder of why it's meant to continue at least for a specific time period moving forward. But you may be thinking about a change for the future that's going to make you ultra happy and involve a completion or two in order to see that come to be, right? I also feel like your connection to the moon is going to be part of the next 2 days. But the two cards that I got here, very much aligning with the Oracle, the Strength card pairing with the King of Wands. All right, your strength coming through and being very much apparent to other people, to yourself even at certain points when you are passionate. Okay, so there, that passion and strength pairing together and building upon each other very, very nicely and effectively. And this could help something that you are working on, that you've been building and growing and trying to see very successful for yourself. It just feels like a next 2 days where you are feeling at certain points quite empowered when you're wrapped up with your business or your project or your job. And Spirit saying the keeping busy does feel good, but the fact that you are finding certain moments come to be where you're tired or just not really happy. You need to listen to your system, to your body, and to your intuition and spirit selectively, and rest at certain points. Okay, it's not going to fulfill you as much as you think in moments when you have the option to rest, to fill that space in, that void in potentially with busy work. But there may be certain things like packing up for a move or cleaning up and organizing that will feel fulfilling. But remember, there's only so many hours in a day, and you only have so many resources. And they're showing me like a battery life on like a phone, something like that, where there's only so much juice in that battery. Okay, only so much charge, if I could say it. And I just feel like there may be a couple clumsy or stumbling kind of moments, slipping up on your words, where it may leave you a little bit flustered, frustrated, even if you don't express that. But I feel like this will just push you to slow it down a bit. I really feel like there's something where you may feel like moving quickly, achieving quickly is going to be effective, but you've proven otherwise in the past. A slow and steady wins the race kind of vibe. Do things strategically and just pace yourself. But I did look at the timestamp, given I had to restart or stop and continue the video, the reading, and the number 555 was on the timestamp. They're saying don't go the wordy route, even though I feel like it may be inevitable to an extent, especially if you're spoken through by spirit like myself, because simplicity, less is more, is going to be an effective route for you, especially when you're talking to coworkers, boss figures, clientele, potentially other people that you're connected to in your personal life. But I feel like more than one person at a distance is thinking about you. This could be your online presence affecting that. It could be, family members, friends, acquaintances, stuff like that. But I'm really getting coworkers are speaking about you for the better or for the worse. And that's obviously not for everybody. But the protection card and the 3 of Pentacles, because I feel like the next 2 days, speaks upon you being noticed for somebody who's quite protected, quite guided, and messed with all the meanwhile. But I feel like in the midst of certain occurrences where you're being noticed as messed with spiritually, or just very much vulnerable in a sense, you're also being informed or reminded you're protected when it comes to whatever that is for you. Does that make sense? I hope that was worded correctly. But they're saying with this jack-o'-lantern card again, if you look at the lighting within the jack-o'-lantern, there's a fire within you, okay, a passion within you that's being noticed, being very much appreciated and potentially utilized by other people, okay? And I feel like the next 2 days does speak upon and highlight the different sides of you. I want to say it's for some a creepy side, that very spiritual side potentially playing into that. Your passionate side, your serious side, your fun side, your happy and at times emotional and not so happy side, right? And Spirit saying you're only human. You're naturally going to have these ups and downs and twists and turns of your state of being, and those different sides of you at times coming out to play and coming out to teach you something and potentially frustrate you at certain points. But it feels like there's a situation that's quite toxic in one, if not multiple ways, and that's potentially something that's going to switch up moving forward. And they're saying, remember, you're in the driver's seat, all right? There are going to be moments where things feel a bit conflicting, chaotic, and uneasy and unhealthy, and it may tie into that situation once again, and it may tie into your habits and your mental state all the meanwhile. But this will push you to look to the horizon and recognize things are going to be so much better moving forward, especially when it comes to what you decide to switch up. Excuse me. They're saying to wrap up this reading, take a deep breath. Remember how strong you are. Remember what you're capable of. And things could be a lot worse than have been in the past. But moving forward, once again, things are going to improve. Things are going to change. And things are going to be so damn bright. Okay? So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy the next 48, and I'll see you next time.